Islam at a Glance is brought to you by
रिस्को कंस्ट्रक्शन कॉरपोरेशन। मकानात की नए सिरे से तामीर हो या घर और दफ्तर की है रेनोवेशन का मसला, तो रिस्को कंस्ट्रक्शन कॉरपोरेशन की खिदमात हासिल कीजिए। 100% इंश्योरेंस के साथ मुकम्मल काम, मुनासिब दाम। रिस्को कंस्ट्रक्शन कॉरपोरेशन। फ़ोन 9166429006।
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillahi ahda wassalatu wassalamu man la nabiyya ba'da. Dear viewers, today topic at hand is Islam, global and unbound. So we will go back to the ayahs of Quran where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us about the mission of his Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he defines it as a global mission. So the first ayah, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ. We have not sent you except as a mercy for the worlds. Alameen. It's not only for this world, but if there is any other realm or any other world, he has been introduced to us in Quran by Allah by saying that he is a mercy for the worlds. The other ayah of Quran which says, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا كَافَّةً لِلنَّاسِ بَشِيرًا وَنَذِيرًا. We have not sent you, O Prophet, except a warner and one who gives the glad tidings to the whole of mankind. So you see, there is no restriction here for Islam and Muslims, as our Prophet is, and his message is for the whole mankind. And we are supposed to be carrying that message, not only verbally, but in our character, in our behavior. We should be carrying this message everywhere to everyone. So our mission is worldwide. Our community is humanity. It's not exclusive, it is inclusive. So this is the basis of Islam. This is the basis of how we should think about the message of Islam. And it is has been in the nature of the Muslims from the very beginning that they traveled to distant places, even at the times when traveling was not an easy task, but they traveled long distance and then settled in various areas of the world. And it is not only like in the recent times that the Syrian refugees are going out of the trouble spot in Syria and moving to the West and the other countries in the United States and all that. Even in the times of peace, and even in the time when Islam was actually ruling the world, they were like superpowers of the world. Even at that time, people, the Muslims, they traveled and they settled in far off places. That's why we see Islam is not only limited to Arabia. Actually, the Arabs only make 15% of the total population of Muslims. Yes, Arabic is something that we all like, we love it because of its being the language of Quran, and the original Quran is available to us to get the message, and the total message of Allah is in that language. So all the Muslims, they love it and they learn it. But it is spread. The people, for example, they settled in Indonesia. They went there as traders and they settled there, and then a big community developed over there. The locals, they embraced Islam, and then we have the most populous Muslim nation in Indonesia. So as I said, that Arabs are only 15%, and there are very huge populations all around the world. And now in the last 100 years or so, the phenomena of moving west in Europe and in Americas has been a dominant trend of migration of Muslims. Yes, because these are the lands of opportunity. These are the lands where education is available. These are the lands where, in many cases, the Muslims find more secure environment than they have in their homelands. In their homelands, in some cases, the things are not so good even today. And it has been like that for many decades because of sometimes because of lack of opportunities, and most of the time because of a bad governance, and sometimes harsh and brutal rulers who would not let people live in peace in a secure environment. So all these reasons, in various times, various different kind of reasons, but in recent times, yes, this has been the reason that people migrated. But these are the, like for example, United States. This has been the land of opportunities for centuries, and there have been waves of immigration. This is the nation built by the migrants. So they are all there. And the good thing about the Muslim community, especially in the United States, is that this is the most diverse community. So it gives you a flavor of a global community right there in the United States. So if you go to the mosque in the United States, you will find people from various nationalities. This is not the case for example, in many churches or many synagogues. When you go, there's a lot of variety in Muslim centers and Muslim mosques in the U.S. and in Europe as well. Yes, there are some dominant Muslim communities. For example, people from Pakistan and India and Bangladesh in UK. People from the Arabic background in France, or Turkish people who make the major part of the Muslim community in Germany. But these are they also have other Muslim ethnicities in those communities, but particularly, as I said, U.S. and now Canada, which is in recent years have a big number of immigration from the Muslim world and the other parts of the world also. They are developing communities and with a lot of diversity. So that diversity in itself in the U.S. and Canada, it provides you a breeding ground, I should say, for the kind of mindset that is actually an Islamic mindset. That Islamic mindset looks from a vantage point above the national level. The national level, it is okay to have in a background, some people migrated from Pakistan, some people migrated from Syria or Egypt or the other places to United States, but right there they are gelled into one community. So this is giving you the first step to understand the humanity. So in your centers where you go, as I said, it gives you a best environment to absorb this feeling of globalness of Islam. So when you have this feeling, our thoughts should be even above that. Our vantage point should be looking at all the humanity as a unit, because we are believers in Tawheed, and Tawheed is one God. So we are, as I said, that our vantage point should be above all the other people ideally, because we believe that there's one God and we all transcend from our units, from our nationality, to meet over there under one God. So this is all single humanity, one humanity. So when you are living, for example, in the US, if the questions like this are raised to you, and it happens in the environment that we are facing over there and in the West for a few decades, I should say, that people would question. People will question your national, belonging. Are you an American first or are you a Muslim first? This is a ridiculous question for me. One can have multiple identities. like me, I am a Muslim, I am a man, I may be from a ethnic background, I may be from a tribe, I may be from a country. These are all identities I carry together. That is not to say that if you are an American, you cannot it's a conflict to be a Muslim. They can all coexist. As I said, that these are multiple identities that one person carry. You don't have to get into these debates of which is first. If somebody ask you that if you are American first or Muslim first, you should ask him a question that if I am a man and I am a Muslim, so will you ask me to be either man or Muslim, or which one is first? It is just a ridiculous question. At the same time, you are a man, or I am a man, or one can be a woman and be a Muslim or an American. These are some different angles that our identity can coexist and live with. And as I said, that especially in case of America, the Muslims who have gone there and settled, they have no problem in settling in that culture, with their Muslim identity they carry with them. They can be a good American as well. And then on top of it, as I am trying to pass that message on to you, for a Muslim, it is more important to be above all these things, and looking at the level of humanity. So what we need to excel in is our etiquettes, excellence in etiquettes, excellence in our behavior, how we behave. There is a term in Arabic which is called marja al-khalaiq. That means our ideal person in Islam is the one who is like a person, who is like a personality people will look up to. That means they will always appreciate the humanity present in that person. And not only that our humanity should be limited to helping some people, giving some charity and all that. It is above that. There is one ayah that defines our the basis for how should we behave. It says, وَإِمْ مَكَّنَّاهُمْ فِي الْأَرْضِ يُقِيمُوا الصَّلَاةَ وَيُؤْتُوا الزَّكَاةَ وَأَمْرُوا بِالْمَعْرُوفِ وَيَنْهَوْا عَنِ الْمُنكَرِ. So these are the things. So we don't not only establish prayer, that means we keep our contact with our spirituality with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and also within that there is a collectiveness in our spirituality, even that we get together and we pray together, all kind of people. And then zakat, the way that we treat each other in, as I said, that helping someone and giving charity and all that covers zakat. And the other two, amruna bil ma'ruf wa nahuna anil munkar. That means we try to propagate what is good. We always be with what is right, and we always oppose and we try to remove what is incorrect or what is munkar, which is which is harming the people. Anybody who is being mistreated, for example, and then we don't speak for him, that means we are not doing the part of nahi anil munkar. So we are a nation, or Muslims should always be in this mode, that if they see anything wrong happening anywhere, not only where they are living, for example, they are living in the United States, but they cannot say that we don't care what happens in Palestine, we don't care what happens in Kashmir. They have to be, Prophet ﷺ says that Muslims, for example, is first of all, Muslims are like a body. If any part is hurt, then the whole body feels the pain. This is for the Muslims. But this is not only that our sympathies will stay for the oppressed Muslims only. For any oppressed people, any kind of people who are oppressed anywhere in the world, or in the place where we are living, our voices should always be with them. Our support should always be with them, to the extent that we can support them, to the extent that we can stand for them. But you should, the minimum thing that we should do is to raise our voice against any wrong that is committed to the humanity, to any kind of people, any group of people. So we are bound, Islam is unbound, it is all over, but we are bound in a relation of humanity with everybody. So if in United States a wrong treatment happens with any particular ethnic group or any people because of their color of skin, then we need to raise our voice, we need to stand up for their rights as well. And the similar thing is that if it happens anywhere in the world with the Muslims or any other people, Palestine, Kashmir or Rwanda or whatever. Kuntum khayra ummatin ukhrijat linnas. This is the ayah. It says that you are the best of the ummah which is raised for the mankind. So see, this is not that you are some exclusive group of people who are above or who have a special status with respect to your honor or something, as it is in the Judaism, the Jews and Gentiles. But it is, you are created for the service of mankind. So we are there to serve the mankind. And the places like United States, it needs your humanity. It needs to that Muslims show there what the human values are, because for some reason in the last few years or few decades, we are losing the fundamentals that used to govern the society over there in the United States. The freedom, the equality, these concepts are losing value over there. So that's where your role has become more important in countries like that you behave and you interact with the society in a way that you are, as I said, that marja al khalaik, that people look up to you, that you are in service of humanity, you are in service of mankind. I was attending a lecture in early 90s. I remember he was a scholar from an African background, but he was associated with some university in the United States. And his name was Ali Mazravi. And in early 90s, in his lecture, he said that in the coming years, the world will see the neo-colonization, and then he said that there will be a re-tribalization of the societies. And that's unfortunately exactly that has happened. That colonization came into in a new wave, in a new form. Now this global, you see, on one end we talk about global Islam, the other thing is globalization. Globalization in actual is nothing but a synonym for westernization these days. So globalization is, on the name of globalization, through the economic system, through the media, and through this cyberspace and this connectivity, the whole world is being asserted on the whole world, that you have to be global, you have to have these things which are norms in the Western society. That is how it is, and many countries are adopting to that as well, because it is the dominant culture of the day. But as a Muslim, we have to adopt. We have to see what is in accordance with the Islamic traditions and Islamic values. Islam is already global. Islam is above that. Islam is above any nationality. It is your connection with Allah, and Allah being the Lord of all the humanity We accept his laws, not the laws or the norms of any society or any particular type of people. So we have to see that if there is a conflict between them, then we have to ruddu ilallahi wa rasul. If you have in tanazatum bainukum, if you have a something of disagreement between you, and then you return it to Allah and His Rasul. So we have to go back and check, cross check, that if this part of globalization or what I call westernization is in accordance with that or in conflict with that. If it is in conflict, we will drop it, and if it is in accordance, we will adopt it to our needs. There's no problem in that. We are very open-minded, and we will do that. And people who are living in those countries like United States or other parts of the world as minorities, there is nothing different, no different behavior expected from them. They should also be doing the same thing. That if there are things that are in accordance, and there are many things to cooperate, there are many things to work together on. As I said, that if there is oppression going on in the United States with any particular community, you should be standing with that. And if it is happening outside of the United States to your limits which is available, you should do that as well. But you should not be just said, I am happy, I am living, although I am a Muslim, but I am living in peace in an environment. I don't care about the others. This is not like, it is not the behavior of a Muslim. He cares, as I said, that we are raised for the help and support of the humanity, for the service of mankind, not as an elite people who would like to be just happy with what they have. But we need to be in service of the humanity. Just to conclude, that it is a global concept, Islam, which transcends from these small national and ethnical backgrounds and units into one unit above them all, considering them as a humanity and connected to Allah, which is unity, which is one. And that's where all the equality comes about, that we follow what Allah says and His Prophet says, and then pass this message on to the people through our character. So the basic thing is that your character, your ethics, your morals should be something that people will be looking up to you wherever you are living, and especially when you are dealing with your children, who are growing in those societies. You should equip them with this knowledge of the religion. They should absorb, internalize this religion, so their behavior will be automatic. They don't have to make effort to have good ethics and morals. They will just absorb it through their lifetime. If you keep this, and the job of the people who are living in places like United States with respect to their family, their children, is much tough in the sense that they have to make more efforts. They have to give more times, and they have to be very sincerely doing this job of bringing up a nation, bringing up a new generation that will take this challenge on in the coming years and days to come in the United States and in other places where we are living as minorities. Because if we lack in this training, if we lack in this part of our effort, then what we will put out as Muslim nation, as our second or third generation in those places, that will be vulnerable to those kind of nationalistic and identities. They will just be Pakistanis, or they will just be Arabs, or they will just be Afro-American or something like that. As in the lecture, in the beginning we said that it gives you, the Islamic community being a diverse community in the United States, it gives you and your family a best environment to develop yourself as a human, as that is what actually is the requirement of Islam from you. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المؤمنين والمؤمنات.
Islam at a Glance was brought to you by
रिस्को कंस्ट्रक्शन कॉरपोरेशन। मकानात की नए सिरे से तामीर हो या घर और दफ्तर की है रेनोवेशन का मसला, तो रिस्को कंस्ट्रक्शन कॉरपोरेशन की खिदमात हासिल कीजिए। 100% इंश्योरेंस के साथ मुकम्मल काम, मुनासिब दाम। रिस्को कंस्ट्रक्शन कॉरपोरेशन। फ़ोन 9166429006।